All right. Week 9. All right. We are good, Dave. We are live and ready.
We good.
We are
All
good to go, sir.
right. Good evening. So here we are, week 9. Ready to chat a little bit about what's cooking. Pretty excited about what we got going here. I would say we got a few rivalry games coming up this weekend. Michigan State, Michigan, interesting game there of two undefeated teams, right? And like we said a week or so ago, the Big Ten's going to be knocking each other off soon, and that's what we're going to see. The other big game, obviously, Ohio State, Penn State, the battle of the one-beatens, right? It's like whoever wins that game is going to kind of move into the driver's seat, I think, and the winner of the Michigan State kind of right there with them.
Yep.
And of course we have the rivalry game. You know, my Florida Gators playing the hometown Georgia Bulldogs this weekend in the world's largest cocktail party down in Jacksonville, Florida, and of course we'll be there to participate. Yes, Gator Dave, Miami Mike, and Public House, a.k.a. Dave's son, at the to watch the Gators play the Bulldogs. Gonna have a little setup down there. Mike and Public House have some things going on, so it should be an interesting day. We'll probably pull maybe a live chat for a little bit down there around 1 o'clock on Saturday, just to chat a little football and enjoy the tailgate for a minute down there. But we're extremely excited, at least about the tailgate.
That's right.
Don't know about the game or not, but definitely excited about the tailgate.
Oh, tailgate will be a good time.
Absolutely. We'll be in the Florida Gators booster lot, so enemy territory for a lot of folks that'll be part of our tailgate. We're going to have a number of Bulldog fans and, of course, Miami Mike there as well. So, but it will be a good time, no doubt about it. What we got coming up Tuesday, Mike, is we're going to have the first college football playoff bowl released on Tuesday. So it's finally here.
We're getting down to it.
So we're going to really find out what's going on. And my big question, and I think it's going to be a lot of people's questions, what is the committee going to do with Cincinnati? So, they're sitting at 2 right now, but, where are they going to put them? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of see it going after this week sort of unfolds itself. Actually, I really don't know. This last week going in, I liked Georgia at 1. I liked Bama at 2. And then sort of OU, Cincinnati to fill up that last little bit. I still don't like OU though. I'm super on the fence with them. They haven't showed me anything. That defense and their offense now is it's struggling. So I don't know what's going on with Lincoln Riley. I don't even know if he'll be there next year, or if he's looking at something potentially else. But yeah, what the game that we're going to, I think has a chance to shake some things up this week that people aren't really expecting too much.
Well, of course it is. If something happens that most people don't think are going to happen, there could be there for sure. I'm a thinking that I think Ohio State's going to kick Penn State's butt, and they're gonna kind of rise up. And my opinion is that the committee's going to put Cincinnati at 5. Just out of reach of what's going on. That's my opinion. We'll see how it comes out. Look forward to the poll coming out on Tuesday. So the other thing I want to touch on, Texas Tech coach fired this week. That makes number 6. The 6th coach in FBS already fired up to this point. Now, the question is, who's next? Who's next to get the slam? Who's next? I got a list up there, right? You know, and last one's gonna surprise you, but you know, I hate to say, but you know, all the talk, you know, what's gonna happen with Manny and that position, and you know, is he gonna be there? Is he gonna leave before the end of the year? Is he gonna make it to the end of the year? I mean, what are you thinking?
I think he's done. I think he's a dead man walking. I've called him getting fired now the last 2 weeks. I thought we were going to get absolutely blown out by UNC. We fought through it. I thought last week we were going to get blown out again. Tyler Van Dyke put his money where his mouth was and showed up and showed out. We got the win by the hair of our nuts. But I don't know, man. I think I'm really worried, which I'm upset that I'm even saying this right now, but I'm really worried about that Florida State game coming up against us. I mean, that might be a game right there that they sneak from us and in an embarrassing fashion, and that game would scar me for the next year for sure. But no, I think he's a dead man walk. I think he's on his way out. The boosters aren't happy. There was an interview this last week with Ed Reed, who's one of the higher ups down there right now. They put him in a football operations position.
Right.
And there was a guy who, you know, he's interviewing him. He asked him, he's like, man, that was a great big win this past week. And Ed Reed's eyes just got like saucers. Like, you think that's a big win? This is Miami, man. We're supposed to win these games. He pointed out that, you know, some of the issues are coaching, player development. People have to shut up, put their ego aside. I don't know. I'd love to say that we're going to turn it around with a new coach, but I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. I think it's
it takes a while, man. As the hole gets dug deeper, it's harder to come out of that hole as time goes on, you know.
Well, it's one of those things too where it's at this point now in college football where you kind of have to have the president, the athletic director, and the head coach sort of all on that same vibe of where they want that program to go. And right now, the last 15 years at least, if not 20, there's been a serious disconnect between those three. So
absolutely,
I would much rather see the athletic director, Blake James, get shown the door, put somebody else in. If he decides that he wants to put his guy in, great. I would much rather like it to go that way than just get rid of Manny off rip. I like Manny. He's a good guy, I think.
Yeah.
He's got good intentions. He's a Miami fan at heart. He doesn't want to see us suffer, but at the end of the day, I mean, you got to produce. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it for sure.
Another name popping around, still Scott Frost at Nebraska. Hadn't had any signature wins, but that's the golden boy. I still think they give him, and it's Nebraska. You know, I mean, it's tough. I mean, that's a tough place to win. Tough place to get recruits. So, they're talking about it, but I think they give him a little bit more time. Now, your another ACC buddy there is Justin Fuente, Virginia Tech. You know, so we could see some changes there at the Hokies if they don't finish out well this season. So the scuttlebutt is he could be on the super hot seat as well. And then of course, as I read my blogs of the Gators, you know, there's so many folks talking smack about Mullen right now, just not happy. I mean, I think he made the mistake and not getting rid of Grantham at the end of last year. And
you call that the hot seat, Dave. He's on the hot seat.
He is on the hot seat. And if he doesn't fire Grantham,
what's up with that? That's like, is that his best man in his wedding? What's going on with that? Did he give him his kidney?
And I don't see the allegiance there because Grantham hasn't been with him that long. So
right,
I don't know. It's almost like he's scared of cutting loose of Grantham. And I mean, there's plenty of adequate defensive minds out there that they could pick up. You never know. Maybe Manny comes around the corner. You never know.
Well, shoot. I mean, there's so many guys out there. You can go get Orgeron now, sneak him away.
Is he a defensive coach?
Oh yeah.
Orgeron?
Oh yeah.
So there you go.
I mean, and I'm sure he would love to have that opportunity to play LSU in that rivalry.
Every year. Absolutely.
Do you think some of the issues with Grantham is maybe Mullins not trying to admit that shit has sort of hit the fan?
Yeah, and his scheme just sucks. I mean, it's just not good. It's archaic. It's old. Right. It's just not. It's not going to work in the SEC, man. And you know, we won a few games at the beginning of the year, and our defense has looked better, but man, it's just not right. I mean, the scheme is just, and he's just not good. We've absolutely got to get rid of that guy, and you know, and unfortunately now our recruiting is suffering as well. We've lost a couple of recruits this week, so it's not a good situation at Florida right now. And I know our Georgia buddies are just freaking loving it. So. Well,
I hate to hear that, Dave. Hate to hear trouble in Gainesville. That's just too bad.
Yeah, just like I hate to hear trouble in Miami and Tallahassee.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
No question about it. So, well, let's go ahead and hit some games here. I got a dog going crazy behind me, but we're gonna go ahead and roll here. So, first game on the schedule is Texas versus Baylor. And so, you know, Texas 4-3 in terms of their record, 4-3 against the spread. They lost by 8 points last week to Oklahoma State, right?
Yep, so at home.
Pick that one at home, exactly. They gave up 400 yards to the Pokes. They were only 4 out of 14 on third downs. Texas was. They've lost to Oklahoma by 7. You know, we know that one came down to the end. And again, not a lot of confidence in Oklahoma. Their biggest win so far would be probably against TCU by 5 points, and TCU's just way average this year. So really no signature wins at this point. Now Baylor 6-1. 5-2 against the spread, so they're up a bit on Texas here. They did lose to the Pokes by 10 points, so if you kind of average out, then we're kind of level set, right, going into that one.
Yep.
They got beat by BYU. They got beat by Iowa. So those were their
they beat BYU.
Losses. What?
They beat BYU.
Oh, they beat BYU. Okay, right. Yep. That's right. And so they've got the 13th ranked offense, 33rd ranked defense in FBS. That's Baylor. So kind of respectable there compared to Texas. Not a lot going there.
Right.
Their junior quarterback Bohannon is 15th ranked passer in FBS. So that's obviously positive thing there. So here's what I'm thinking. 2.5 points to Baylor. I'm saying they can do that. I think they win by 3 to 7 points here in the end, and I say go with the Bears here.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dave. I would just buy them down to that money line. I'm not even gonna play around with that under 3. But I'm with you. I was torn on this game at the beginning of the week. This was one of those ones that I was sort of on the fence with. I was actually on the Texas side. But I think Baylor's too much, man. Texas is a terrible defense at stopping the run.
Absolutely.
I mean, absolutely god-awful. Cannot stop a nosebleed. I think that's going to be a huge issue with this game being at home at Baylor. You look at the game that Baylor played 2 weeks ago against BYU. They put up 300 yards on the ground. They held BYU to under 70 yards rushing on the ground. That's Texas's bread and butter this year is Bijan Robinson.
Yeah,
if Bijan can't get it going and they become one-dimensional, I like Baylor in this 100%. I think Dave Aranda, that's a guy too. I think that has a serious shot at that LSU job. He may go back. that LSU job's interesting for sure. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm all over Baylor here. I think that's the play. I think I'll actually get to the window on it, and I'm riding on it with you.
I think that's a safe one. Really is, even at 3 points for sure.
Yep, so, I like that.
And I say we talk about that LSU opening on Saturday. Maybe that'd be one of the topics of conversation. So
yeah, awesome.
All right, so the next game I've got, I don't know how I got it up this far, but it is the Georgia-Florida game. So Georgia favored by 14 here. Georgia's 7-0, 5-2 against the spread, unbeaten. I mean, you really don't have to say a lot, right? Number 1 defense in the land, number 42 offense. At least they're in the top 50. The damn defense is unstoppable. I mean,
unbelievable.
It's just unreal, and especially against the run. And we know beginning of the year, Florida was all about the run, right? And it's going to be tough.
Yep.
If JT Daniels plays, could be even a longer game for the Gators because they had a little bit better passing attack. Stetson Bennett's done a good job, very respectable job. He has come into his own, looks a lot better as a quarterback for sure, throwing the ball. But Florida is, Florida's 4-3, 3-4 against the spread. I can't believe they still got the number 9 offense in the country, number 38 defense.
Yeah.
It just seems weird, and they're 4-3. That probably tells you how jacked up we are. 2 weeks ago, we got embarrassed by LSU. Defense got whipped up and down the field, run all over by a team that hasn't run in forever all year. They ran the same play over and over, and Florida couldn't stop it. I mean, that's just ignorant. Florida leads FBS in interceptions. Bet you didn't know that. Yep, between the 2 QBs, they have thrown a ton of interceptions. And the thing is, Mullen just can't stand turnovers. It freaks him out. He wants to play conservative, and I think that holds him back a little bit. The only way that you're really going to stand a chance of beating that spread is to let AR-15 get out there and throw that damn ball down the field. That's the only way. And you still don't know. I mean, hell, he might throw 2 or 3 interceptions, and then it just kills his confidence. But that's the only way. They're going to have to open it up because they're not going to run the ball. I'll tell you what I'd bet is that Florida can't get 100 yards of rushing. But you got to be careful of that. Because if AR-15 breaks one, he could hit 70 yards like that. But if he doesn't have any big breakaway plays, they won't get 100 yards of rushing. That defense of Florida's has to play as good as they did against Bama. And again, they got to unleash AR-15, and he's got to throw it downfield and be successful and not throw interceptions for it to be any type of game at all, in my opinion.
Yep.
But I don't think that's going to happen, and I don't think the Gators are going to get the 14. I think this game is going to be 17-21. I think Kirby is looking at this as a great opportunity to just stomp on the Gators' throat, especially when it comes to recruiting and getting more guys out of Florida. So I don't think he's going to let up if he gets out there and gets going. So I hate to say it, but I'm going with Georgia here, and the fact that they'll win by more than 14 points probably. So what you think?
You know what? This is a game that I've had circled since the beginning of the year that said if Georgia was going to slip up at any point, this would be the game. This would be the one that Florida would come in, sneak it out from underneath them. Georgia's riding high. They're that double-digit favorite again. They've been covering like it's their job. There's something about this game being in Jacksonville. I mean, it's a neutral site, but it obviously is closer to Gainesville. There's going to be a ton of Gator fans there, a ton of Georgia fans as well. I mean, it'll probably be half and half like it typically is. Yeah. I don't know. There's something about it that says to me, Florida and the points, maybe strong maybe that they pull it out and upset them. I'm thinking
Well,
like,
here's the great thing about this for me.
mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, go bet the farm. But if the Gators win, it's just all the more happy for me. I'll be
Oh
honest
yeah.
with you.
Oh, I know it won't bother you one bit.
Yeah, but I just a lot of the moons have to align dramatically for this thing to work out.
Well,
Sure.
you know what this is, Dave. This is a showdown, brother. And we know how you've been doing historically.
Yeah, I think I'm about 5-1. I think you got me on one game last week, didn't you?
I don't know. I know the one that mattered was Vatek Syracuse. So we just leave it right there. Did you see the end of that game? Did you see how that happened?
Yes.
Dave.
I told everybody pick Syracuse.
Oh man. Oh, it was tragic. It was tragic, man.
It's rough.
Absolutely rough. If y'all didn't see the end of that game, Virginia Tech's up by 2. Now, granted, Gator Dave for the showdown, he had it. He had the spread, he had the cover, boom, done. I had Vatek money line. All right? I had Vatek money line. They were up by 2 with like 16 seconds left and got some 40-yard bomb touchdown to go and beat Vatek at the last second. Absolutely killed my Saturday. So yes, I hope, and I'm sure you do as well, that this showdown game goes a little bit differently this week.
Oh, I would love for it to. I would love for it to. But if I'm a betting man, I would go that way.
I respect it.
So
I respect it.
The next game, in my opinion, is I don't know the way I look. I think it's a hands down for the next game. So we got Kentucky, and last I saw it was -1 versus Mississippi State. And Kentucky, of course, is 6-1, 6-1 against the spread. Wins over Florida, LSU. They did lose to Georgia, but everybody loses to Georgia, right?
Except Florida.
12th, yeah. Hopefully, 12th ranked offense in the SEC. 3rd ranked defense. The Cats got 475 yards against LSU last week. Mississippi State and the Pirates are 4-3 and 3-4 against the spread. Not too high. They do have 11th ranked offense and 4th ranked defense in the SEC. 522 yards of offense against Vandy. Woo, yeah. So that's a big one. So we know the cowbells will be singing and riding hard there in Mississippi State, but I'll tell you, I think Kentucky is. I love that D line for the Cats, man, and I think they're just gonna wear out Mississippi State. I can't believe it's 1 point, in my opinion. I mean, I think Kentucky wins this by 7 or 10 points here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm torn on this one a little bit. This is a game that reminds me a lot of that Mississippi State, NC State game that we talked about earlier in the year when NC State went to Mississippi State. Yeah. They played that night game. They got those cowbells rocking.
Yeah.
I could 100% see this game going the same sort of way. Those cowbells are no joke. That shit is so annoying.
It is. It's real annoying.
It's loud. It's annoying. For 3 hours of that's a lot. I'm with you. I think Kentucky is obviously the way better team. But I don't think I'm going to get to the window on this one. I'm too torn on the cowbell. You got to. There's power.
Sure about the cowboy. Let's make it a head-to-head, Mike.
There's power in the cowbell, Dave. All right. You can't underestimate it.
You're so confident though in the cowbell.
You can't underestimate the cowbell. This might be one that we jump on and we talk about more on Saturday. I may do something before that 7 p.m. But as of right now, that cowbell's putting me off. It's all about the cowbell. Too much cowbell.
All right, we'll see. I say this is sure one for Dave.
All right, fair.
Next,
I'll hold you to that.
All right, we'll do it. The next one, again, I put this one on there because I hate saying again, but I'm kind of sure about the next one too. So North Carolina and Notre Dame. Notre Dame getting 3.5. North Carolina, the roller coaster, the Tar Heels are 4-3, 3-4 against the spread. Wins over Miami. Virginia.
Thanks, Dave.
Which really not saying a lot. They lost to Georgia Tech and Tallahassee State. Just a big roller coaster, right? The Canes did put up more yards. Quite a number of yards on North Carolina for sure.
Yep.
I don't know. They're just way too inconsistent for me right now. So Notre Dame, however, as much as we don't really like to say it, they are 6-1. They're 4-3 against the spread, which that's not that great. Their only loss right now to number 2 Cincinnati. They beat USC last week by 15, but USC outgained them in yardage. Just a little FYI there.
Interesting.
Yep. And the deal here is this one's at home. I just can't see North Carolina as inconsistent as they have been this year, going up there and beating a decent Notre Dame team, which I will call them at this point, because I don't think North Carolina's decent. So I'm going to say North Carolina's going to take this one. Can you buy down to 3 on this one to -3? Where is it now? What's the line at right now?
Yeah, you can. It's at the 3.5, but
you go down to 3, and I think it's easy money at that point. You're safe. So I feel like this is a sure one here. What you think?
So this one, Dave, is another one that I was sort of torn on. I hate this Notre Dame team. 100%.
I do too, but they keep winning.
100% hate them. I look at them like they're the Grinch. I don't want to touch them with a 10-foot pole. Jack Cohn is not the guy at QB for the Fighting Irish. If I said it last week too, if they play that backup, I like them a lot more. They handled USC pretty well. They did lose the yardage battle, but they got the win. That's all that matters. I love this UNC offense. I don't know if you've watched them play at all this year, but there's a guy named Josh Downs, their wide receiver. Electric. Serious Hollywood Brown, Tyreek Hill, Tyler Lockett type vibes. This guy is going to be playing on Sundays 100%. I think this North Carolina team, I think this is a game that they sort of show who they were supposed to be at the beginning of the year. I mean, everybody and their mama had them winning the ACC, playoff bound, maybe Sam Howell for Heisman. And they got smacked in the face week 1 by Vatek, and that sort of all just crumbled right at their feet instantly. I think this is a game that nobody's giving UNC the same sort of thing that you're saying. Nobody's really giving them any credit. They haven't really played too many people. They've gotten beat by some bad teams. Yeah. I like this. I like this game. I think UNC, this is a game that Mac Brown is also sort of on the hot seat right now in UNC. He can bring the guys in, but can he develop who he has? Can he actually get them into a position? This is a huge game for Mac Brown and his legacy at UNC, and if he continues going forward, I think he's going to be there at the end of this year. But as far as going into next year, this could be a huge momentum shift for that program. I like UNC.
Come on, head to head.
I like UNC. Let's do it. Right. We'll do a showdown. I'll give you the showdown on this one. I'll rock the Tar Heels.
That's a showdown.
There is a little issue, and I do want to point it out that I do have with this one, and that is the fact that the Tar Heels have to play Wake Forest next week. Who is the best team in the ACC right now? How far do they look ahead? I don't think that they do, because Notre Dame is still number 11. It's still Notre Dame. That's one of those prestige programs of college football that if you beat, regardless of how your year is going, it's a 5 gold star sign of approval. I like the Tar Heels. I like them in potentially an upset too. Look at the Gators and the Tar Heels as maybe a double whammy, something. Just saying.
Not me, bro. Not me. I'm not touching that one at all, buddy. Not at all. Way to the opposite of where I'm going. So
Fair.
All right,
We'll see. We'll
let's
see.
we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see. 5-1. All right. So let's look at the big one up there in the state of Michigan. Always an interesting game. Michigan versus Michigan State, 2 ranked teams, both 7-0. Michigan 7-0, 6-1 against the spread. However, Michigan has not beaten a ranked team. They do have the 11th ranked defense and 35th ranked offense in FBS. These two teams' best rushing offenses probably, head to head in the country. I mean, really good chance here. Used to be Florida was, but now these two are just awesome, which makes it a boring game to me. I wouldn't be interested in watching, but they both average over 200 yards per game rushing. So if you like that Big Ten football rushing, you're going to get it here. McNamara, the quarterback, he's got to have a strong performance, because Sparty's defense has been their weakest link. Their big deal is their offense, their defensive secondary, allowing 286 yards passing per game. So this kid has a good game. It could be it for Sparty. Again, Michigan State 7-0, 5-2 against the spread. They beat Nebraska by 3. Michigan beat Nebraska by 3. This offense is ranked 26th in FBS. I really think, I know Michigan has come around. I mean, I even consulted with some Michigan State fans on this one. And I'm going to have to say Big Jim gets the win over Sparty here, even though they're playing at Michigan State. I say they're going to win by 7-10, the Wolverines in this one.
All right, this is another one, Dave. This is another one. I'm on the other side, baby. I'm all over.
All right.
Oh wait, who did you say? You said the Wolverines. Oh no, I'm with you. I'm with you on the Wolverines. I'm with you on the Wolverines.
Right.
Sorry.
All right.
I had a brain fart. No, I'm with you. I think I think that Michigan defense is for real, and I think the only thing that Michigan State has going for them. I appreciate you not bringing this up. I will. Michigan State did beat Miami earlier in the year, so I have watched them a couple times. I took them later on in the year as well. Kenneth Walker is a beast. Their running back is a monster.
Yes.
But
Kenneth Walker the third, by the way.
The third. Put some respect on it. But I think Michigan's defense is too much. Kenneth Walker is the only thing that they have. If they can bottle him up just long enough to get a lead and make Peyton Thorne have to throw the ball, I think Michigan gets it done. It's dicey because, like you said, it's that rivalry game. They always have weird fluke stuff happen. Like years ago with that punt, that botched punt, and it just crumbled and fell apart for them.
Yes.
I think they right that ship this year. I'm with you. I like Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that way too many things point to Michigan in this game. Like that stat about 386 yards of passing yards, and Sparty doesn't have a, I just think, it could be 10-14 in this game. But you're safe with your 5.
100%. I think you might be right there. If you are looking at like a sure play for this one and this rivalry, I mean, I think the under would definitely be the most likely one for sure.
Yeah.
I may even, you know what? I may even throw that on there. That might be one I end up getting on. I think I'm going to do that actually because I'm with you. I think that's a super low scoring game, super Big Ten bully ball. Just in the trenches, knocking each other around.
They're gonna score once every freaking 8-9 minutes, so it's gonna be low scoring.
Yep, I'm with you.
Boring. I don't even want to watch that game.
Absolutely not.
We'll be having fun, so we won't mess with that. So
we won't be worried about it.
Another Big Ten game, Indiana versus Maryland, and this one a bit intriguing. Indiana's 2-3. 1-6 against the spread, so that makes it appealing. Winless in the Big Ten. Now, they only lost to Sparty by 5. But they lost to Ohio State 54-7. Ooh, nasty. So Maryland, however, averaging 22 points per game, and Indiana's only averaging about 14. Maryland is 4-3 against the spread, 4-3 and 3-4 against the spread. They lost last week against a Minnesota team that I can't figure out yet. They gave up 450 yards, which was kind of odd. They don't have much of a rushing attack, but they got Baby Tua, right? They have young Tungavaloa at the helm at quarterback at Maryland. Now, Maryland has the 5th best offense in the Big Ten. So this one's kind of one of the games, both teams kind of right? But I think it's a safe bet to take Maryland in those points, in my opinion here, because I think Indiana is the garbage can of the Big Ten right now, and I think Maryland will handle them just off of the Tungavaloa and the way they've been throwing. He's been throwing the ball, so I think it's enough to beat this team. I think Indiana's horrible.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Indiana was a team that I was kind of high on at the beginning of this year based on what they did last year. But they have gone from the top of the roller coaster to the bottom really quickly. Yep. I liked their quarterback, Penix, a lot. I thought he was going to be nice this year. But I'm with you. I think Maryland, Loxley, the old Alabama OC who brought Tua's brother to Maryland with him, I think he's got him on the right way. I think he's got him moving in the right direction. This is a team that, if you look at their record this year, they've played decent. Against the big dogs, they got kind of smacked in the mouth. But against these lower tier kind of run of the mud teams like an Indiana, 2-5 Indiana, I think I'm with you. I don't know if I'm going to get to the window on it, but if I had to go aside, I think it would be Maryland.
I just look at what they're not averaging a lot of points. We said 22 for Maryland and 14 for Indiana. I almost think if you just go off the average there, you got yourself 8 points. That's why I think it's a touchdown here, in my opinion.
Right.
So, but you're safe on 3.5 or 5.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it's a Maryland or don't play for sure.
Yeah. All right, next one you threw at me, because this one I was just like, I don't know. This Minnesota team is just like, I don't know, dude. So Minnesota is getting 6 against poor Northwestern. I mean, it's a rough year for them. So Minnesota is 5-2. They're 4-2-1 against the spread. So the big wins for the Gophers are Purdue and Nebraska, both by about 7 points. They did beat Maryland last week, 34-16. 450 yards of offense, so maybe they're making some improvement up there. They're still that middle of the road in everything, right? In the Big Ten stats. Now Northwestern 3-4, 2-5 against the spread, so not good at all.
Awful.
Their biggest win to hang their hat on, Rutgers. Woo! Yeah. They beat Rutgers, so pretty exciting. They got absolutely hammered by Scott Hot Seat Frost at Nebraska. They're having a rough year at Northwestern. We talked about the coach and how much we liked him and his upstanding dude, Fitzgerald, right?
Yep, Pat Fitzgerald. Yep.
Yeah, and just a good guy, but it's not his year this year. I'm not real impressed at all with Northwestern, and I say, I think Minnesota is going to beat them by at least a touchdown this week, maybe even 10 points. Even though it is at Northwestern, I'll be honest with you, I don't think that matters at Northwestern, especially as crappy years they're having. So I say go with the Gophers here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm rowing the boat this week. It's weird, like what you were saying with Northwestern. It's almost like they have a super good year, and then they have a terrible year. I mean, a 2-win year. They have an 8-win, 9-win year. You think, oh shit, is Northwestern about to be, a Big Ten power? And then they shit the bed the next year, and it just kind of goes through that cycle. I'm with you. I've been on Northwestern a couple of times this year and paid the price for it. I've been against them a couple of times this year and unfortunately paid the price for it at those times as well. Like you were saying with that Rutgers game, I remember we jumped on Rutgers. I like Minnesota here. I think Minnesota's too much. I think Minnesota is finally starting to get a little more consistent, start to click back a little. I think going into this year, they kind of had that UNC mindset where people were just handing them, they're going to be the best in the Big Ten. They're going to be
the
this.
Coach was going to go to the next best.
Yeah, exactly. And then they got smacked in the mouth early, and all that again sort of crumbled for them. But now they're putting the pieces together and they're building on it. So I'm with you. I like Minnesota. I think they handle Northwestern. I think this is a game that could be 31-13, 28-13. I think it's no problem, but we'll get it down to that 6.5 just to get under that 7.
I think this is another one of the super safe bets.
I think that one might be the one that I like the most this week so far is that Minnesota game.
I'm still on Kentucky. All right, so the next game is a tough one. I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on this one. So we got Ole Miss, number 10 in the nation, against number 18 Auburn.
We do.
Yeah, we do. And we're playing at Auburn.
We are.
Okay. And Auburn, number 18 Auburn is getting 2.5 over number 10 Ole Miss. What the hey, right? So Ole Miss, 6-1, 5-2 against the spread. The number 3 offense in the country. They beat LSU by 14 last week. They beat Tennessee. They beat Arkansas. Heisman watch Matt Corral leading the Rebs. Now, the defense has looked a little better the past 2 weeks. So, interesting fact there. Auburn, however, 5-2, only a game behind Ole Miss. 4-3 against the spread, again a game behind. They beat LSU too. They beat Arkansas too, so we're kind of even there, right?
All right.
They beat Arkansas by 15 and only allowed 23 points to the Razorbacks.
Okay.
The Auburn's 40th ranked defense in the country against the number 3 offense in the country. I couldn't find Bo Nix in the stats in the top 50 quarterbacks in the country for some reason.
Shots fired.
He's a damn roller coaster if I ever saw one. I can't really figure him out. And the other thing that's really baffled me about Auburn is that Auburn was supposed to have this freaking rushing attack that was supposed to be unconscious, and it just really hadn't happened.
What's that guy? What's his name? Snoop?
No, the big Marsh, the big dude. I can't remember his name. You have to look it up. I can't remember the big running back for Auburn that was supposed to be just all world, and he hadn't done anything the last year and a half.
Right.
So what you got to weigh here is, can Auburn keep up with that Ole Miss offense? Okay, that Ole Miss offense averages 40 points, 50 points a game, 40, 45, right? I just don't see our boy Bowen. I just don't see our boy Bowen team being able to put up, 40, 45 points, especially because I think there's a slight improvement in that offense at at Ole Miss. So, damn, this is, to me, then, if I'm going Ole Miss, that's easy money, right? I mean, Auburn's favored by 2.5. Get your points there, buy it up to 3, whatever you got to do. But, I say Ole Miss got this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is a game I think that I'm really high on. This is right there with that Minnesota game. I think we're gonna get, like, Ian. Shout out Ian in the chat. We see you guys in the chat, by the way. Appreciate you guys.
Ian Public House.
But yeah, shout out Green. Shout out Public. Appreciate it. I like Ole Miss too. I think Ole Miss's offense is just going to be too much. I'm with you. I think it's going to be a shootout. I see Ole Miss putting up 40. I'm with you. I don't see Auburn matching them. They might go neck and neck for that first half, maybe into the third quarter, but I see Ole Miss sort of pulling away. I see it kind of ending, 38-23, something like that.
Oh, I think it could go 45-35. It could go that high. It's
right.
Still 10 damn points. And Auburn's favored by 2.5 here.
I'm with you. I like Ole Miss in this spot. Here's another fun fact for everybody. All right, if you're into trends and angles, okay, here's a trend for you. The last 4 weeks, the number 18 team in the top 25 has lost. They have lost the last 4 in a row, and
that's almost a little voodoo.
And this is Auburn sliding into that slot. I'm just saying.
That's like some kind of hoochie voodoo New Orleans stuff there, man.
Hey, well, if you're into the hoochie voodoo New Orleans stuff, take note.
All right. So hey, we need to shout out to the Big Green Machine, as well as everything. Taya, Kaylin Gleason, love the comments in the chat. Yeah.
Shout out. We see you. Appreciate you guys here.
Absolutely. Look forward to Saturday. So, all right. So let's put the SEC behind us and let's go over to your ACC. So this next
one, the powerhouse conference, Dave. The powerhouse.
Yeah, the one that I just the next one I wasn't real happy when you put this one on there, but I took your challenge.
I love it.
I think it'll be another head-to-head. So here we go. Louisville and NC State. NC State getting 7. So we got Louisville at 4-3, 4-3 against the spread.
Yep.
Beat BC and Virginia. Lost to Wake by only 3. Kept it close there. Malik Cunningham is ranked 15th in total offense in FBS. He did have to throw 2 interceptions last week. And the Louisville defense is not good. Louisville defense, not good. NC State is 5-2, a little bit better. 4-3 against the spread, just like Louisville. NC State has the 18th ranked defense in FBS, which I'm like, wow, an ACC team that's got a good defense. All right, so sorry, but that's interesting, right? Cool. They're holding teams to less than 27% on third downs. But they did have a lot of unforced errors last week against Miami.
Yeah.
Right? So that makes me wonder. But I think the defense is going to contain Mr. Cunningham, and I'm saying go with the Wolfpack.
All right.
Go ahead. Tell us why you like Louisville there, Mike.
Well, Dave, Malik Cunningham, like you said, is an elite dual threat quarterback out of the ACC. I love Louisville's head coach, Satterfield. I think he's a good one. They got him, I believe, from, what was it, App State? Did they snag him a couple years ago?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he's solid. I think he's got them going in the right direction. I'm actually with you on this one, Dave. I'm Wolfpack.
Really?
I'm Wolfpack.
I thought you'd go Louisville on this one.
I'm Wolfpack, man. After watching them last week, we had no business winning that game. They handed it to us. Without Tyler Van Dyke, he threw for over 304 touchdowns with no turnovers. I mean, that's fluke shit. That should not have happened. We should have lost by 14. I think that because of that game, NC State comes into this game extremely focused. Their defense is going to want to make a statement. They got exposed last week after getting talked about, and then they backed it up. So NC State's defense has a huge chip on their shoulder going into this week, trying to prove themselves again. Night game in Raleigh. I'm with you. I like NC State to get this done. I'm sorry to disappoint with the potential showdown.
That's all right. That's all right.
No, I'm with you. I love that NC State team. Leary, their quarterback, is nice. It's really just the defense. I think that defense is
it's the best defense in the ACC.
Yep, I think that defense is the difference maker for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, I think our boy Ian Gleason is green. He just put up a wolf there. So
Wolfpack.
We'll see what he thinks about the next game there. Young Jedi.
Hey, I put this. I want you to know, Ian. I put this game on just for you, my boy. Just for you.
Well, I believe that Mr. Gleason and the whole Gleason clan, including yourself, might be surprised about where Gator Dave goes here. So let's look at it. Florida State. Tallahassee State versus Clemson.
Tallahassee.
10. Clemson's getting 10. They're a powerhouse, Clemson. All right. Florida State is 3-4. 3-4 against the spread. Last week they took out the mad, amazing UMass 59-3.
Juggernaut. Big win for that program.
Big win. So Tallahassee State's back, right? Now very interesting. They are rushing the ball quite well. There's a kid. If you're not an ACC fan, you're not going to know about it.
Right.
And this Josh Corbin kid.
Oh yeah.
25th ranked running back in FBS, number 2 in the nation in yards per carry. Young Josh Corbin. Okay.
Yep.
So that's pretty interesting. They're still middle of the pack in defense and offense. So, it's kind of like mediocrity, but an exciting running back, which, hell, Florida State's always been that way, right? So, Clemson, 4-3. You know what Clemson is against the spread there, Miami Mike?
I'm guessing not great, Dave.
How about 0-7 against the spread?
Oof, that's terrible.
How about no big wins? Not a big win one. How about they can't even get 20 points a game?
Haven't done it at all.
They are the last number 14th ranked offense in the ACC. Now, their defense is 37th in FBS, which is, that's not good for them.
Right.
I mean, hell, they've been usually top 20 in defense.
Yep.
But 37 is still okay. It makes you think, well, they can probably hold Tallahassee State, right?
Yep.
So, but I'll be honest with you, Mike. You threw this one up there. I did the research. I think this is easy damn money. Take my hated Seminoles in this one. Florida State might not win the game, but get them 10 points because it's money in the bank.
Oh, yeah.
Clemson is not it's just going to be this low-scoring, silly-ass game, and and I hate to say it, but they're going to cover it easy. Yeah.
Yep, I'm with you. I love Florida State right now. Mike Norvell, from the beginning of the year, there's a meme that I saw in the offseason that I've been waiting to use against Ian all year long, and I haven't done it because I'm a good person.
Nice person.
But what it basically said was, I'd be so happy if Florida State won 7 games this year, and then it changed to, I'd be so happy if they just won a game this year. But that meme right there and who this Florida State team was at the beginning of the year and who they are now, Completely different. Completely different. That's why I was telling you earlier that Florida State game. Now I had no issues with Miami playing them. You know, like I didn't even think of that as a potential problem. Now, keeping me up at night. That stupid ass war chant is keeping me up already at night.
Are you playing there?
Oh yeah, we're in Tallahassee this year. It'll probably be a night game. I've talked to Ian about that and Kaylin potentially and sliding down there.
Oh, that's right.
But we may have to reschedule for 2 years from now. We may have dropped the ball on planning it, but I'm still available. Let me know.
Yeah.
Anyway. I think that once Norvell decided that Jordan Travis was his guy, he stopped sort of playing that QB carousel with Mackenzie Milton and that sort of thing. They got a little more consistency going. That run game is huge for them.
And by the way, according to Mr. Gleason, it's just Swan, Corbin. I called him Josh, so tried to slight him. So J. Swan, Corbin.
Yep. Put some respect. But I'm with you. I actually like Florida State to win this game outright. This is a game that the Florida State game, the Ole Miss game, the North Carolina game, and the Florida game, those underdogs, I think all have a shot at winning outright. That might be something to consider parlay-wise. I'm not saying do it, but maybe do it. I like Florida State to win this game. I think they shut Clemson up in a big way, and it makes everybody in the nation go, whoa, something's really off in Death Valley in South Carolina. And something is finally starting to click in Tallahassee and Florida State, which is unfortunate as it's going to be for both of our teams recruiting moving forward. I think Florida State, I think they beat Clemson outright. I like them to win that game.
I think it's going to be like 21-17. I think they're going to lose, but I think you're so safe with 10 points in this game. I think they're going to, you know, you're plenty safe. I just think it's going to be a boring ass.
Oh, it'll be a terrible game.
17, 24, 21.
Oh, it'll be terrible.
So, yeah,
but I think if Florida State can get on them early and establish that run game, get up like, you know, 14-3, 14-7 kind of deal, and put some pressure.
You really think they're going to score that many that fast?
I do. I really do. I think Florida State's going to be ready to play. I think Clemson is going to go into there with that mindset of this is the same Florida State team that they've played for the last 5-6 years. And Florida State's going to hit them in the mouth early and kind of give them that deer in headlights, oh shit moment. And Clemson, as we've seen this year, when they have that oh shit moment, that offense has that oh shit moment. So I'm with you. Side note, this is my Christmas wish list, Dave. Brent Venables, if you are watching this out there, there's a lovely, lovely area down south of you called South Beach. They'd love to have you. There's lots of great food, great environment, great drinks. You can bring your kids.
So that's who you want, another defensive guy?
I do. I want Brent Venables, man. I think wherever he actually decides to go and be a head coach, I really think what he's going to go is Oklahoma. I think he's going to go to Oklahoma. I think when Lincoln Riley finally departs ways, I think that's where he'll go. Because he's right now, I mean, his contract is so stupid at Clemson, he shouldn't go anywhere else.
Yes.
And his kids are there. They're on the football team. I get it. But as soon as that changes, and if there's a little more flair in Clemson land and Dabo starts to look at other people to put under the bus, Venables, he's out of there.
Yeah, but the defense still 37th. I mean,
they're elite. Hell, they're still elite for sure.
They are, and you can't, with the offense just sucking so bad, that takes them down a few notches. That takes your defense down a few notches right there because your offense blows.
I mean, you get the ball on your own 10, 15-yard line. You go 3 and out. You're giving the ball to them on their own 40, 35 yard. I mean, that's just a game of positioning at that point. I'm with you though. I like Florida State in that one. And I got one more for you, Dave. We're gonna do the sneak-in game of the week.
Oh man,
I'm dropping it on you. But this one's a little. We were kind of talking about it earlier in the week a little bit. So it's not a super drop bomb. We're gonna go Iowa, Wisconsin here, Dave. Iowa, Wisconsin.
That's the one I don't.
That's the one we're gonna do. I'm bringing you back on it.
I knew you were gonna do that.
I'm bringing you back on it.
I freaking hate that game. I hate it. But Wisconsin favored by 3.5 over the powerhouse Iowa. They're playing at Wisconsin.
Yep.
I sliced and diced this one, Mike, and it's like, oh man. I mean, here's the deal. I don't like depending on at all. But when I did my research and looked these, it pointed to Wisconsin. So they're playing at Wisconsin. I don't know, man. It's 3.5 points. I'm going to go with Wisconsin screwing me, and I'm going to say Iowa.
Whoa! I did not see that. I did not see that one coming.
Because Wisconsin always screws me. So I originally was going to go with Iowa. That's what I had in my pick before, but only because Iowa just jacks me every time. I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going to say Iowa here.
All right, I'm actually on Wisconsin on this one.
I figured you would be.
I'm with you. I hate this Wisconsin team. Their quarterback is dog shit.
Garbage.
You can tell him I said that.
Garbage.
Absolutely terrible. He can't hit the side of a barn. And in Wisconsin, that's pretty bad. That's all they got out there. I'm with you. Everything in my research lined up for Wisconsin.
Yeah, me too.
Iowa obviously should be the team to handle this. If this game was in Iowa, I think I'd be on Iowa, but the fact that it's in Wisconsin, again, it's not like Wisconsin has had a good home record this year, people. They've lost to Penn State. They've lost to Notre Dame. They got killed by well, that wasn't a home game. That was in Chicago. Michigan killed them. They have not been good at home. Army, they only beat by 6.
That's why I'm saying, this Wisconsin team kind of reminds me, but you like your roller coaster teams. It kind of reminds me of North Carolina. Just you can't count on them. So, and my boy Don Birmingham from Tulsa, Oklahoma, he said Wisconsin wins at home, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna roll here with. I'm going to now roll with confidence and say Iowa.
Oh, wow. Okay. I feel
like
I'm
getting 3.5 points, right?
I'm giving you 5 on it. I'm giving you 5
points. See there?
So, but I see this. I mean, look, that 5 points could be huge, right? You could easily cover that 5 because this game is going to be super low scoring. Wisconsin's not getting 30 points.
It's Big Ten garbage, man.
Wisconsin's not getting 30 points. Iowa's not getting 30. They might not either get 20. It's going to be like 10-7.
Another non-watchable game.
Yeah.
Good thing we're partying.
I'd rather do anything else probably than watch that Iowa-Wisconsin game. That would be like watching paint fucking dry. And watching elephants hit each other. I mean, it's not that fun. So I'm with you though. I think it's going to be a really crappy game, low scoring, very high on defense, very high on the run game. I think Wisconsin wins, but I could definitely see Iowa getting that cover for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
So I like both of those right there.
Yeah. So hey, we got really sharp pressure washing joined us. Our boy Matt. He's telling me that he doesn't like my Gator in the background, but I'm saying tough noogies, man. And I know he's probably a big freaking dog fan, but we'll see what happens. So appreciate Matt being on the call as well for sure.
Absolutely. Gotta stand true. I will say, Matt, I hate that shit too. It's ugly. I hate looking at it every week. But he's got to stay true to himself, and you got to respect it. You got to respect it.
We got to keep the reputation up. We might end up 500 by the end of the year, but it's my team. I'm a fan, and that's kind of where it is right now. And again, folks, we're going to try to do a live remote around 1 o'clock. There's going to be all kinds of cool stuff at our tailgate there in Jacksonville. We're going to attempt to do a live remote around 1 o'clock on Saturday. So you guys that are, hopefully everybody is signed up and got the automated note that you get when we pop online. So definitely looking forward to it. Interesting week this week for sure. A lot of close games, close numbers, but we'll see how things go. And again, we look forward to the tailgate and the remote there in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a great time. I can't wait for that. But
Absolutely.
so 1 p.m. Saturday. Make sure to put on your notifications and subscribe to us if you're not subscribed already. We'll be going live during the tailgate down there at Jacksonville, Florida, for that Florida-Georgia game, and we'll be doing a giveaway too. So make sure to watch us there. We'll be doing some giveaways. We're also going to give away some Florida-Georgia tickets for next year. So make sure you see how to get involved on that. And I think that's all I got for him, Dave. You got anything else?
No, I appreciate everybody being in the chat today and listening to the broadcast. Again, we look forward to it, and got to end it all by saying, "Go Gators!"
Absolutely.
Have a good one.
All right, guys. Well, good luck this week. Appreciate you again, Gator Dave. I'll see you tomorrow, sir. And
yes, sir.
It'll be a good game, regardless of who wins. It'll be a good game.
Absolutely. We'll see you in Jacks.
All right, guys. Peace out. Thanks for watching.